Um, I do agree 100% that the two-party system has failed us. Um, I understand that our Constitution was set up a particular way, but but the founding fathers obviously understood that the Constitution was not perfect and that amendments needed to be made. And so, and so, I think one of the things that needs to be done is we need to have more, at least in my opinion, we need to have more of a parliamentary type of government where we allow smaller political parties, such as the Libertarian Party or the Green Party, even to be able to hold seats at the federal level. And and we also need to implement, for example, in the state of Maine, they have that they do not have the first past the post system. What they have is you have the candidates on the ballot, and your first choice you put a number one by it. Your second choice you put a number two by it, and so on and so forth. And so that's called ranked choice voting. So that's something else that we need to do as well is put in ranked choice voting. And then and those are just and then finally we have term limits for office of president, which I agree with. But we also something else that I believe a lot of people on both sides are upset with is what's called career politicians. These career politicians, they yes, they have experience, but there's a saying that says power corrupts, which you know, given the recent bill that was passed, where we only get $600, and they want to send so much money to Pakistan for gender studies. I'm not going to argue whether or not that's good or bad, but why why uh why are why are we the people only getting $600, but a foreign government is getting what is getting so much more than that? So we need to implement term limits at the legislative level of government, and then and then finally, another major problem concerning Congress and how laws are made. In that same bill, I don't know his name, but there was a senator from North Carolina, and how this is going to be upheld, if it's upheld, I don't know. But he attached it to the latest stimulus bill, and basically, it was where the music companies contacted him, and what they wanted to do was they wanted to make it to where if you're playing a video game and that game has music in it and you're live streaming the music, they wanted to make it to where doing so would be a felony. And somehow, the senator from North Carolina was able, which is one of the reasons why I left the GOP, but he was somehow able to get that squeezed and attached onto that bill. And a lot of people, I'm not a streamer or anything myself, but I know my stepbrother is a streamer, and I know a lot of other people do streaming as a means of income in today's day and time. And is going to ruin a lot of people's lives if this law is actually is actually enacted. And what I'm basically getting at is that there needs to be an amendment to the Constitution where if if what is being discussed is a stimulus check during the time of a pandemic, the only things that can be done concerning that bill are things related to the stimulus check concerning the pandemic, not something completely unrelated, whether it be sending money over to Pakistan or making streaming music a felony.
Okay, so I agree with most of the things that you just said. I agree that the two-party system needs to be busted up. I think that that is one of the most important things we could do to better have better representation for the people in this country. I also believe that and ranked choice voting that goes in with the busting up the two party system. It's never going to happen though. The two parties that run everything also makes the rules on elections, and they're never going to allow the two party system to be busted up because they both benefit from that. In order for that to happen, it has to start on the local level. Um, and I also agree that what's the other one? I also agree that like it's not a good thing that we have so many like amendments to bills being added to bills that have nothing to do with what that bill was supposed to be for. The unfortunate reality of our government is though that nothing will get done when it comes to many things that we need to get done without that ability. The reason I say that is because there's so much obstruction. From it comes from both parties. I think that it mainly comes from the right. That happens in especially the Senate level. That we would never ever be able to pass a lot of initiatives that get attached to must pass bills otherwise. So I think that we need to fix our government to where it's actually functioning, and then we can start talking about like making it to where Congress can't just attach any old bill onto must pass bills. Double Dog, did you have anything you want to say to what we were just talking about before I
Not really. I was mostly in agreement with Auto Tech. I mean, I didn't vote for either Biden or Trump myself. I voted for Joe Jorgensen, and the fact that she wasn't allowed to be in the debates, I think, is just a bit ridiculous.
I agree. They
Because
need
that
at
would
least
have
five
given
people in
her a
debates.
heck of a lot more, support. She's extremely intelligent. I mean, while I don't agree with everybody's bills, all their bills, I agree with the majority of them. And I mean, she's part of the party I support, and she's not part of the two-party system, which I think is just a disgusting, appalling system that we have going on, and it doesn't help anybody